Right now, every indicator on the planet, every study is showing that in the next few years, mental illness is going to be one of the biggest problems for humanity. Percentages, very horrific percentages scientists are throwing out. I don't know if we reach those percentages. If we reach those percentages, there's no way we can live here because they're saying by 2045, 50% of the population may need mental illness remedial measures in terms of treatment. 50%. Well, the US Surgeon General declared that 1 in 2 Americans are feeling lonely right now. If 2 of you are sitting here and 1 of you is feeling lonely, what the hell is happening with the other guy? Loneliness, you must understand, is the incubation period for mental illness. If you start feeling lonely, sitting here among people, you're feeling lonely, just know you're cooking up an illness and it's going to come sooner or later. World Health Organization is talking about mental health pandemic. But when the COVID pandemic was raging in 2020, in Japan, more people committed suicide that year than the number of people who died of COVID. So we don't really need the virus. We can do it ourselves, self-help. So, we are on this juncture because there are various sociological, technological, many aspects. One important aspect that we need to understand is, there is not enough strength in the food that we are consuming, lack of micronutrients. As we have spoken many times, many studies have been done. One study goes out to say, in 1920, if you ate 1 orange in California, what nutrients you got out of it, if you want to get the same today, you have to eat 8 oranges. 8, this big oranges, 8, to get the same thing. Because soil has depleted. There is not enough microorganisms. Microorganisms, when we say, let me tell you a little bit of their history. Somewhere, we don't know exactly, people say 1 billion years ago, some people say much more, we don't know. I have not even counted the number of years I have lived, so I would not count the number of earth years. But whatever, long time ago, one very smart algae, or it could have been a fungi, because it is believed there was not much difference between the two, these differentiations happened much later. One of them who was very smart, they discovered a method with which they can cook their food using sunlight. This phenomena today we call as photosynthesis. This solar energy business is not after you got a solar panel on top of your home. This is the first solar panel, a green leaf. And from that, every other life, including you and me, that we are all a consequence of this tremendous phenomena called photosynthesis. But in the last 1,000 years, photosynthesis on the planet has come down by 85%, 85. This most basic activity which is necessary for life to happen on this planet has come down by 85%. On an average, 27,000 species of microorganisms are going missing per year, species, not organisms. At this rate, it is expected in the next 15 to 25 years, the fabric of life, the fabric of foundational life, which is these organisms, there will be holes in that. Once there are already holes are beginning to happen, when this happens, human software will start crumbling, which has begun to happen already. It could reach a certain level of momentum in the next 15 to 25 years if we don't do the right things about soil and put back life into it. Soil is not about agriculture. Soil is about life process, because the fundamental life process is there, the foundational life is there. Even your body is nearly 60% just microorganisms, only 40% your parental genetics. You must remind your parents about this. Well, almost 18 years ago, when somebody was talking about gut biome and how important it is to digest and to do things in many aspects, I said, not just in the gut, there is microorganism across the body, including your brain. This one statement I made got me a lot of ridicule. People went about laughing, oh, what does he know, this is all pseudoscience, brain has screens, no organism can enter the brain. But today, the top scientists in the world are saying, whatever gut microbiome you have, their cousins are sitting in your brain. If you don't treat these guys properly, they tell their cousins, bother them. And then you go through all kinds of suffering because the microorganisms are telling you, eat right because our cousins are not happy here and we will make sure that you are not happy. Well, this is going to gain momentum. So, there are a few things that you need to do. One thing is, of course, we are striving to change the policy on the planet. Some movement has happened, at least the narrative is beginning to shift. Action is yet to come. Little bit of action is happening in a few countries. We've already spoken to COP29 nation, host nation, Azerbaijan, and they are very eager to see that the narrative moves much more solidly towards soil. If you do not know this, in COP28 that we just went to, one of the events by the UNCCD was titled as Soil the Superstar. 2 years ago it didn't exist, now it's superstar, thanks to all of you and many other millions of people who stood up for this. But the job is not over. Every day, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, somewhere you type out save soil, say save soil somewhere in the social media. Please do this, because it's important to move the governments. And if you have a little garden, or even if you just have… if you're living in an apartment, your garden is 2 wet pots and 1 dry one, whatever little soil you have, see how to enhance the organic content there. It may not make a difference to the world, but it makes a difference that you're committed. Your commitment makes a difference to your life. This is the experience of human life. Those who are not committed to anything, they always see obstacles wherever they go. Anything they want to do, they see, this person is not allowing me, that situation is not allowing me, this law is not allowing me. But for those who are committed, there is no such thing as failure. There are just many lessons to be learnt on the way, but no failure. I want you to know a life which doesn't know what is failure. Many things may not happen, but it's not failure. We learned one more thing as to how to do it better. So this commitment has to come into you, means at least a pot full of soil, make it little more organically rich. Add something to it, so there's more life happening. This is your commitment, this is not a solution, but your commitment is a solution. Let's make that happen.